further from Scott Sundin, who's all by himself in second. Stone is third. Megan Fuller runs fourth. Gleason is fifth. And sixth is the 55 of Monahan, and they are almost a half a straightaway from the rest of the field.
And Monahan is looking to carve his way underneath Brent Gleason. It looks like he has a car that's capable of that as he torpedoes his way underneath the 0-1. It has been a lazy boy recliner type of race for Ryan Morgan. The best battle is for Ryan with Ryan Waterman in car number 24. And he is trying to get the advantage against Fanning as they blast their way out of the turn. It is Waterman, but able to maintain the same lead for about the half of the race.
Yeah, as they get side by side, some of those leaders had gotten out and running by themselves, and that's all changed around now as the pace car wisely gets off the track down onto pit road, and the green flag goes in the air. They're back underway. Morgan trying to hold off Sundin as they're side by side into turn one.
Sundin trying to make a statement all over the car like aluminum siding, but he falls off. Morgan in sole control of the lead, and Sundin has to worry about Megan Fuller in the white number 2.
Yeah, she's got a head of steam up there in the outside out of turn number 2. Right there with Sundin. They almost exchange paint through the third and fourth turn. Sundin hanging tough down on the bottom.
And we have a spirited battle for fourth and fifth on the outside. Gleason takes a spot away from Al Stone.
Gleason advances one. Stone right there in the fifth spot, and then they're all bunched up from sixth on back. Waterman and the 55 of Sean Monahan dicing it out.
And two arch rivals side by side, but not for long as Monahan wins that battle. Kyle Garrow, the point leader, trying to stick close to Sean Monahan. He is doing that as he nudges Waterman and tries to rumble underneath him.
And look at the trouble that Larry Barnett is in over there in the first and second turn. Boy, oh boy, he ran into a couple of other cars, but he's able to keep going. And he was all sideways and ran into a couple of other cars. He gets drop-kicked back several spots, but nonetheless, we keep it under green.
Thompson and Sousa also able to battle. Here's Al Stone as he lunges around the 36 of Sundin to move into fourth. Monahan is right behind him. Waterman starting to pick up the pace in car number 24. So there has been a lot of chaos, but no calamity so far in the last handful of laps. And it looks like Waterman is going to get the best of Scott Sundin, and Waterman moves into sixth place.
He's up to sixth. Just ahead of him is Sean Monahan. Monahan sizing up Al Stone and decides to take a run down underneath him going into turn three. But Stone hanging tough there on the outside. They're side by side on the front stretch, and Monahan makes the pass.
Boy, there was a lot of screeching going on coming out of turn number 4, but the loudest noise was from Sean Monahan. A side-by-side battle right behind Sean. On the inside is Waterman. To the outside is Al Stone. And then another side-by-side battle. And Kyle Garrow, the point leader, is able to get the jump on Scott Sundin.
Yeah, picks up a spot there in the 19. And he's watching the battle in front of him between Al Stone and Waterman. They've been dicing it out for a while. A little tap to the back of Waterman as he heads off the second turn and down the backstretch and gets now into a nice clean spot. That is actually fifth spot now for the 24.
And leading by about the length of a baton is Morgan. Things are getting interesting for second and third. Gleason has come to life. We have yellow out on the track
to go.
And let's see who tells the story on this restart. As they're about to pick up momentum, Megan Fuller got off to a good start, but here comes Morgan. And now Morgan, that puff of smoke belongs to Morgan. Can it clear the two? It looks like he is. And look who he's taking with him, Pete.
Wow, yeah, Sean Monahan gets right up on the back bumper of Morgan, racing the outside of Megan Fuller. They are tight in that race for second. Brent Gleason's right in there too. Here's Monahan and the number 2 of Fuller side by side in trouble here on the front stretch.
And there was a car that erupted up against the fence. Eyes off of what he does. So we are ready to perhaps settle the issue, the final 6 laps of this limited Sportsman feature.
Green flag. And what a run that Sean Monahan gets off the turn. Will lead Morgan by a nose down into turn 1, but it's going to get called back because the caution is back on that start, so it gets called back.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if the leader is on the inside or the outside. He still has to make the first move.
This time he does, and the green flag comes out on top of the field, and they stay side by side down into turn 1. Morgan trying to hold Sean Monahan at bay, but Sean Monahan kind of gets down there on the inside, and they race side by side on the backstretch.
And they are dead even as the two drivers ball and chain together. They are body pierced coming out of turn number 4. Who will get the edge at the line? I think Sean Monahan by a sliver.
Yeah, he's trying to use as much of the track as he can as he thunders down into turn 1. But boy, Morgan hangs tough up there on the outside. Behind them, it's Megan Fuller for third, being chased by Waterman, Gleason, and Garrow.
Morgan all over the side of the 55 like wallpaper as they whirling dervish their way off the corner. Monahan is able to clear the 31 in the fight for third. Megan Fuller holding off Waterman.
And the black flag comes off of the 0-1 of Gleason. A lot of smoke off that car, so the officials will black flag the 0-1. He'll have to retire to the infield. Tough going because he had a pretty good run here today.
Trying to go sideways is Megan Fuller. She's able to bring it back to reality, and a half a car length advantage she has over Ryan Waterman. Waterman taking another shot, and Fuller is ready for it. Fuller still has her fingerprints on third place.
Yeah, she will lead him down the backstretch, but you know he's going to drive in as hard and deep as he can. See him lock up that left front tire as he gets on the brakes going into turn 3. But Megan Fuller with the advantage up on the outside. She's able to clear him here on the front stretch.
And here's Kyle Garrow, less than 2 laps to go. Garrow in car number 19. Any car that he can pass will pay dividends as far as the point chase is concerned. Sean Monahan, he is leading by the length of a moon crater as he is able to strut off turn number 4. One more time around for Sean Monahan, looking for a win.
Yeah, white flag is in the air, and that battle for third continues between Waterman and Megan Fuller. As this time Waterman takes another look on the bottom but can't get it done. Fuller will lead him down the backstretch, and that'll be a battle right to the checkered flag, which is going to happen seconds from now because the checkered flags are in the air. Sean Monahan will win it. Morgan will finish second. Megan Fuller holds on for third. And look at Kyle Garrow. He slowed down a little bit. Waterman slowed down a little bit out of turn 4. Garrow was able to pass and pick up the spot.
And in 6 was Corey Fanning. 7th, Jordan Hadley. 8th.
Let's go back to last week. How was last week's incidents a factor in today's win? You know, I love the Lord with all my heart and soul, and I want to do the right thing at all times. And today we are in victory lane because I did the right thing. I kept my mouth shut all week. Those guys drove me ragged, and I took the velvet off the hammer if I needed to. I really didn't need to today. You know, the seas parted, and it got a little rough a few times, but I'm just down here in victory lane, and I never take it for granted. So whether you love me or you hate me, make some noise. Sean, some people behind the number 55 you need to thank. Yeah, Charlie Banner's been with me for many years. Was once a car owner. Now he just helps out all the time. Dave Lusk, he went road course racing, came back on circle track racing. He's an honor to have on the crew. Dylan Cody, my son Brody, who's hanging tough with me, my wife Jennifer. Emma made it up here, my niece, but my brother had better things to do. My mom, thanks for coming up, and God bless you all. I couldn't do it. First and foremost, you know, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And I get in that car and I pray and I thank God I'm in victory lane.